Hi, I'm Natalie Ledwell, and this is The Inspiration Show. Today, my special guest is the amazing Mr. Bertrand Dory. Bertrand is coming to us all the way from Ireland. Is that right?
Yeah, it is right, and it is a sunny day here today, and I'm really proud to say this.
Very far and few between, aren't they? Now, I detect a bit of a French accent, though. And Bertrand is a good friend of mine and actually has been on the show before. But he has an incredible campaign that I wanted to, create awareness for, an IndieGoGo campaign for an amazing project that I think is going to get quite a bit of traction. And that is you are creating a new book, and it's all around the subject of guilt. So for those people that maybe haven't, seen the previous show or know about you, can we just tell a little bit about your journey and your story, and then we'll get into this awesome project that you're working on.
Yeah, so my name is Bertrand Dory, and you're right, there is a French accent because I'm born in France a few years ago, and I went to Ireland 14 years or 16 years ago. I'm a single dad, and I am the author of Conversation for Your Soul, which is now a bestseller, and also the creator of Design Your Dream Life. My passion is really to help people because I have 5 years ago, I had a big crash in my life, a huge crash, and everything collapsed. And I was looking at ways to go over this and to create a life that is really inspiring, fulfilling, and loving, especially for my daughter, because being a single dad, she's really the most important person in my life. So I started to study this and create my life and inspiring people. That's really my deepest passion. And if I can find people making some good progress in their life and finding joy again, then it's everything that I want.
Wonderful. So how old was your daughter when you started this journey, and how old is she now?
Well, she is 14 now, which is some people are saying it's not a good age, but I found that this is a fabulous age. And well, she was 8, 9 at the time. So she went through everything that we can imagine. So being divorced, having a mom leaving the country, and also me struggling in my own life, not making money, not being happy, and so on. It was a tough ride for her, and we went through this. And now at 14, we just have this amazing relationship where we can have great conversations, happy conversation. We can really have good times, and it's just amazing. It's a bliss to be around her, and I'm really grateful for this.
That's awesome. And so does she also read the books and learn the information that you teach?
Well, that's a different thing. She uses information. She has a lot of wisdom, and she overhears me, and she knows what I'm doing. But now, for her to say that what I'm doing is good, there's a big leap. As a teenager, they don't like saying this. But she has read the book, and she said it was pretty good. So I'm guessing that she liked it. But yeah, it's really important because she's teaching her own friends, and she's able to respond to life. At 14, there is a lot of tension, a lot of social pressure from other children, other girls, and so on. And she's able to navigate this without any big issue. Of course, there are days where she's not happy, she's frustrated, she's angry, and so on. But usually she's very happy, and she will go on a call with her friend and say, maybe you should look at this differently. Or maybe that's just a point of view. So maybe you can change this. And it's just amazing when she does this.
So you're obviously rubbing off on her a little bit, which is good.
At
So,
least a
uh,
little
so,
bit.
so tell me, what compelled you to take on this new project and start talking about guilt?
Well, what compelled me is that, I interviewed you, and we met, and I met a lot of people in the person development world, and I know that it's possible to create our life, and I know it's really something that everybody can do. But I find so many people that are feeling stuck, and they don't know why it doesn't work for them, and they are starting to judge themselves, and they're starting to say nothing will ever work for me, and so on. And I was there too, and that's why I was compelled, because when I was there, nothing really worked, and I was frustrated, I was alone, I was fearful, petrified, and I did not know what to do. So I started to look really deeper, and well, first because I didn't have a choice, because I needed money, and also I needed to go out of this mess for me and my daughter. And second, I was taking so much action, and I was really stretching myself and doing everything I could. So sharing, contributing, giving, creating new products, creating new awareness, and so on. But my success, which was a relationship and more money, did not come. So I had to look at my life, and I had to really start to look at this differently. So I started these really unusual processes, which were to imagine that I would go back to my parents, plenty of money, a nice car, really a very nice car, a nice suit, a suit that would cost, I don't know, $4, $5, $6,000, and going to them and say, I am living life my dream. And when I did this, I felt my body completely getting tense, but really tense. I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I was just um, stuck in my own body. And I started to look at this, and I started to realize that I was feeling guilty because they didn't have the lives that they wanted. And suddenly I would come here and put right in their face, hey, I have this great life. And I had this thought in my head that I was a bad boy because who am I to do something that was so different from them? And the guilt started to emerge. And I started then to share this with people. And people would say, no, I don't have any guilt, it's not me, and so on. But it's not true. As the more I was talking to them and the more I was speaking and the more I was coaching my students, I realized that everybody had it. And when I brought the awareness, and it was like, oh yeah, I can see now why this was not happening. And the more we get into this, the more there is awareness, and the more these people can then put everything in practice that they have learned and create a better life for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing. I mean, a lot of us, and I think one that I can relate to, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this show can, is I feel guilty if I'm creating income and I'm not working my butt off for it. Like I think to make money, I have to work hard. And unless I'm putting in the extra hours and working that hard, then I'm not going to be able to be, abundantly wealthy. Well, that's just crazy. So what are some of the main guilts that seem to come up a lot for people?
That's one of them. That we are not working hard, and then we have the money, or we have the good life, and that's one of them. Of course, there is all the sexual guilt when people have a good relationship, and then they have been told over and over that this was bad, that this was a sin, and then people are not expressing themselves. There's also the guilt of having a better life than their parents. There's a guilt of having pleasure when you are not here for your own children, and like you're robbing something out of them. There is a guilt of money is everywhere in our society. So any kind of guilt around money. So it's some people are starving. So who am I to get this money? My parents still don't have a good life. So who am I? And so on and so on. So that's really the main guilt. And it's also the guilt of being a woman and having a career. So being able to work and create an income. And a lot of women are feeling very guilty for this because they should have a child, they should be a mom, they should be doing things differently, they should be of service. And then suddenly they carry all this guilt, and at some stage something gets triggered and their full life just collapsed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like I think I know if I'm not suffering those guilts myself, that I know at least someone who has gone through that or have had a discussion around that as well. So tell me about the IndieGoGo campaign that you're doing and what that's all about.
Yeah, it's to support me for my book, and thank you very much for helping me with this one. It's a new book called Sentence for Life, Guilty of Guilt, because I think that we create this own prison in our mind, and once we open this door, or not even open the door, once we start to be aware of this, it's like the cage disappears, and we can really start to express ourselves. But as long as we have this cage around us, we cannot express, we cannot become, we cannot even dream anymore, because even dreaming is something that we feel guilty about, and we can't create our life. So this book is about bringing awareness to people. I will share my own story, and the guilt that I had were just things that I never, ever, ever thought that I was carrying this with me. It was so familiar. It was part of my life all my life. So I never felt it, but it really was triggered. And when it was triggered, it just created magical event one after the other where I lost my relationship, my job, my income, my business, nearly relationship with my daughter, and my relationship with my parents. And all of this in 2 weeks. And it was just like, wow, what just happened here? And it was one guilt, remembering what happened with my brother when I was probably, I don't even know, I was probably 2 or 3. And this was in me, and it was triggered on one event, in one look of my daughter's eyes, and then everything collapsed. So I really want to share this with people, because once people get aware that they have this, once they know that there is something like this inside of them, I could see this in many of my talks, tears coming and relief and just this, it's not only me. And suddenly the life starts to move again, and that's what I want to do. So I'm sharing in this book my story, the awareness, what guilt can do. I'm looking at this in different ways, because it's so important just to be able to look at this in different ways. And then I have some very, very powerful techniques that are helping people to release, to be friend with this, and so on.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So guys, if you click on the banner to the side of this video, it'll actually take you straight through to Bertrand's IndieGoGo page, and so that you can go through and make a donation, because this is an incredible project. And you know, I'm sure that nearly every single person that is watching this video right now can relate to one thing that we've said today. And if you can just get help on how to work through that and a solution to being able to release that for you, it's going to be worth it. And you have no idea the heights that you'll be able to, you know, to achieve in your life. So I really encourage you to go ahead and to make that donation there. Bertrand, is there anything else that we want to add before we go?
Yeah, I would say that people who donate more than $25 will get a copy of the book, physical copy. There are several levels of donation, of course, but you can become the hero of somebody's life. That's really what it is. You're a hero of your own life, but you don't know who is going to read this, and maybe you can avoid people to make some stupid steps in their life, or becoming better parents. For me, that's really very close to my heart. Yeah, by giving a little donation, you will get a lot of prizes and perks back, but it's more for you to be this person that enables this project. And for me, that's the most important and the most golden gift that we can give to anybody.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Bertrand, for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure having you today.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you.
Perfect. Now, guys, I encourage you to share this video, get the word out, and let's, you know, create some momentum for this project. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Also, download the app if you haven't done so already, so that you can watch the shows on the go. You don't have to necessarily be in front of your computer. And make sure that you leave your email on the box on this page, because I would love to send you the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. It has masters like Bob Proctor and John Assaraf and Joe Vitale. It's valued at $87, and I would love to send it to you for free. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.